Hi everybody, happy Vlogmas, December 22nd. On the 22nd of December 1950, a little baby was born. And that little baby was called Heather Hirons from Richmond, down my way. Now I've actually shown you a picture of Heather who had made a top, and she wanted me to show you all this top. It's a good few episodes back. But Heather messaged me last night to wish me a Merry Christmas, and she said, tomorrow the 22nd I'm going to be 70. And she said, I can't have a party. And I replied back wishing a happy birthday, and I said, would you believe it that tomorrow, December 22nd, I will be 70. And so we both have the same birthday. So happy birthday to her, to Heather, happy birthday to Heather, and happy birthday to me. Happy Vlogmas Day 22 and
Birthday day!
Birthday Day. I am being taken somewhere. We're going to the refuse tip yet again to drop off all the paper and cardboard that came with the bed, the memorable bed, which we both slept well last night in, didn't we?
That was a good sleep.
He overslept.
Overslept? You can't oversleep.
And then he's taking me somewhere to do something. He won't say what, and he won't say where, and he won't say why. So we'll just have to wait and see.
I've been in cahoots with number one son.
Right, yeah. I've only got one number one son.
You've only got one number one son. And I've been in cahoots with him, and Spencer has arranged a surprise, which I am a party to, and a crucial part of.
Right, so I'll let you know about it when it happens. See you later. Bye. Well, he's at the tip, and you would not believe what I've got for my birthday, for my 70th, from Sonny Boy. I'll let you see in a minute. I've just taken delivery of 2 wonderful boxes of food for afternoon tea. Look at this. Well, I got this lovely bunch of flowers. And vase of flowers, isn't it? It's lovely. Look at all of these. Wow. One for you and one for me.
Oh, hang on. We'll get carried away, yeah.
Anyway, I've had a wonderful, wonderful birthday. I've put a little thing in about having his lordship taking me out. He said we had to be at this place to pick something up at 1 o'clock, and I didn't know what he was talking about. I had a feeling that in the direction he was going, that he was taking me to this French gâteau shop called Robineau. And we got stuck in traffic, and he said, well, I hope I get there in time, because I think we'll have to be there by 1 o'clock. So we finally got there, and he said, you're going to have to go in and get it. Just tell them you're picking up a parcel, you're picking something up for Micheline, which is me. So I walked in and I said, I didn't know what I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. And she said, I said, I'm coming to pick something up for me. And then she came along and she said, tea for 2. And I went, what? I didn't know what she was talking about. And I'm thinking, we're not allowed to eat in cafes, so why is she saying tea for 2? And then she said, do you know all about it? Do you want to see it? She says, would you like to see? And I said, well, I know nothing about this. I says, it's for my 70th birthday. And she was showing me the things, and then as she was wrapping it up, she says, what age did you say you were? And I said 70, and she says, my God, she says, what are you putting on yourself? She says, you don't look 70. And I said, oh, thank you very much. As you do, as you do. Anyway, we then came back, piles and piles of orders to do. His lordship took an order last night that has to be there by Christmas Eve. So he's been working all day. I've been helping him, and we've finally got everything done. But we did promised ourselves that we would have a bowl of soup for lunch, and then we would have this afternoon tea in the evening. So we both sat down with a glass of wine and our lovely afternoon tea. It was absolutely gorgeous. We've left 2 little cakes left for later on, and we're going to sit down and have a coffee with our little cakes. So it's been and then the doorbell went, and another a bowl of lovely flowers arrived, and that was from my nephew. And my nephew, I just couldn't believe it. He'd sent this lovely bowl of flowers, and so I texted him and said, thank you very, very much for the bowl of flowers. And I said, it's really kind of you. And he said, Auntie Micheline, he says, you've always been there for me, because his mum died of cancer when he was, I think, about 8 or 9. Or maybe 11. When he was about 11, his mum died of cancer, and then his mum had already been split up from his father. So basically, he has a half sister, and the half sister went off with the husband, and he was basically left with no one around. Went to live with his grandparents, but used to come and play with my son. Used to come regularly to see my son. And of course my son and him are like that now. They're good friends. They've always been good friends, and I was always there to try and help him out. So it was lovely getting those flowers from him, and it was lovely getting the afternoon tea. And then to top the lot, my son, Sonny boy, told me that he sent me an email telling me about how, and basically I read it from start to finish. I was in a flood of tears. Then I told his lordship to read it, and he was in a flood of tears. And it was just telling me about how much he'd done the same thing for my mum. He used to be like that with my mum, and so he'd sent her a letter, just before she died, saying how much he admired her and everything. And he did the same for me. So I was really, really taken by it all. So let's get on with our hemline. And the hemline is, as I should know, 22nd of December. 22nd of December. Getting very close. Soon I shall be no more. And the 22nd of December is this one. And this one is, let's have a look and see what it is. Let's have a look. Ready? I'm going to have to cover it up so I can't see what that is. If I go like that, it says Nalal bobbin. Nalal bobbin. Metal bobbin. A metal bobbin. Oh, we got these last time. Little metal bobbins like that. Spools, we would call them spools. A metal spool. But I wonder if that's American. Do you call them bobbins? We call them spools. The other day, somebody said to me that they call, when I say jumper, I think they said that they call it a dress. So a jumper for me is a knitted, it's usually something knitted or something jersey-ish that's long sleeved and goes down and fitted, and it goes over the top of something, or something to keep you warm. This is a metal spool. There's 3 of them. 3 metal spools. I've got a feeling they're a little bit too wide for my machine, but I'm sure I can find a use for them. So that was the 22nd. And now the 22nd for the L'Occitane. 22nd for L'Occitane. And bring it down again. Let me find where the 22nd is. Feeling quite empty now. Starting to get very empty. Almost coming to the end, and I know a lot of you are saying I'm not looking forward to it all finishing. 22nd, 23rd, 18, 15, 11, 24th, 4th, 8th. Oh, there it is, a long one. It's a long one. It's this long one along the top. Pull you down a fraction. Where is it? That one. So if I go along there, I bet it's a tube again. It's got to be a tube. Oh, it's a bottle. It's another bottle. I like the bottles. Because I'm used to the tubes. I always get tubes. Let's pull you up again and we'll have a look at that. What is it? What is it? It is More shampoo. Gentle and Balanced shampoo. Gentle and Balanced micellar shampoo. And let me smell it. Put a drop on there. Oh, I think I like that. What does it smell of? It smells like, it just smells like fairy liquid. It smells like baby bubbles. You know the bubbles that kids get and they blow the bubbles through it. It says, formulated without sulfates or silicones, this frequent use shampoo gently washes the hair and helps maintain the skin's ecosystem. Pour a small amount into your hand and gently massage over wet hair and scalp. Work into a light lather, then rinse well. Now then. Oh no, it's not this. It's not that one. What is it? It's Sherlock with Durlock. Sherlock. And the one that we are on to, we've done Case of Blackmail. We're on to number 22. Oh yes, I told you yesterday what it was called. It was called Deadly Christmas Dinner. Good of you to come, Mr. Holmes, said Inspector Lestrade. Something about this case seems highly suspect to me. I just can't quite put my finger on it. Listen, I've got the written report right here. The grandson of the murdered old lady says he entered the building at precisely 11:30 a.m., greeted the porter and went to his grandmother's flat on the first floor. The door was open, which he thought unusual, and when he went into the kitchen, he saw a shadow disappear through the open window. He found his grandmother lying on the floor in front of the cooker, at which point he called Scotland Yard immediately. The coroner confirmed that the time of death must have been just before the police were called. According to his report, old Mrs. Mackenzie was killed by being struck on the back of her head with a blunt instrument. The murder weapon hasn't been found in the house or in the backyard. However, the porter vehemently denies that any stranger entering the house could have escaped his notice, and the only person who entered the building, according to his statement, is the victim's grandchild, young Paul Mackenzie, who was invited over for a festive lunch, and he denies the crime. He hasn't left the building since, and the murder weapon isn't anywhere in the premises. Something smells fishy here, and it's not the salmon. There was no snow outside the window, but it was freezing cold all the same on this 22nd of December. Escaping from the first floor through the backyard and then over the low wall onto the road wouldn't have been too much of a challenge. A pair of rats were chasing each other next to a sleepy Labrador tied up in the yard. There were signs of a family feast that had been so rudely interrupted all over the kitchen. The oven had almost cooled down. A constable had taken the apple and clove sauce and the potatoes off the gas ring on the cooker. A half-poached salmon lay in a roasting tin in the sink, with its tail fin hanging over the side. The plates on the table were empty and as white as the non-existent snow. The 2 glasses were half full of dark red French burgundy. "No need to hang your head, Lestrade," Holmes said. "This case is far more simple than it looks. It was clever of you to consult me." What has happened? What will we find out? Who murdered her? Was she murdered? I don't know. I haven't read the answer, but we will find that out in a minute, won't we? So, where are we next? The British Isles. Oh, while I remember, these are my birthday present from my lovely daughter and my granddaughters. Little Fimo clay rainbows. They thought it would look lovely on me, and they do. So they're really bright and cheery for a birthday. The British Isles, we're getting almost to the end, ladies. 3 days to go. 22nd, 23rd and 24th. Did you see that? 22nd, 23rd and 24th. So the 22nd down here, what's this one? Let's find it. 22nd, 22nd. I've never been to this one. The 22nd is called, let's see if I can get you focused in, Brighton Pavilion. Now Brighton is right on the south coast. I have never been, but they have a pier with a pavilion, I think. And I think the pavilion has a theatre on the end, but I may be wrong. Somebody will put me right if I'm wrong. There we go, and let's see what it says about Brighton Pavilion. Number 22, Brighton Pavilion. Started in 1787, the pavilion was built in 3 stages to create a seaside retreat for George, Prince of Wales, who became the Prince Regent in 1811. During the First World War, the pavilion, along with other sites in Brighton, was transformed into a military hospital. So that is Brighton Pavilion down here. On the edge, it's actually right down here on the edge of the coast. So that was number 22 of the British Isles. So let's get back to our Sherlock Holmes. The Deadly Christmas Dinner Solution. So this is Holmes speaking. You see, if we take the most obvious conjecture, assuming the porter's telling the truth and his skills of observation can be trusted, then he didn't overlook anyone who took to the stairs this morning, and the only available suspect would be Paul Mackenzie, the grandson. However, he has provided with us another factor, an unknown person who he dimly saw for just a fraction of a second, disappearing through the kitchen window. The grandson would be as good as convicted if the murder weapon had been found anywhere within his reach. But apparently it's neither in the house nor in the backyard where he might have thrown it. So far, so good. Let's take a look at the backyard then. Impossible to enter this way without having to take the stairs and therefore pass the porter. There's a guard dog chained outside in the yard, which obviously didn't start barking and seems to be in a tired and relaxed mood. It didn't even shoo the rats away. Is that why a stranger could get away through the yard undisturbed? Now let's take a closer look at the kitchen. When was the last time you enjoyed apple and clove sauce with potatoes, if I may ask? Oh, that must have been last winter, about a year ago. It's a classic meal for all the family. Roast venison or beef, applesauce and potatoes. Why do you ask? Said Lestrade. Precisely, Lestrade, precisely. Brown meat, venison or beef and potatoes with a fruity sauce seasoned with cloves. And what do we have here? Fish! A whole salmon, no less. One would expect lemon, dill, white sauce, horseradish, something along those lines. Also, dark red wine doesn't pair well with fish at all. White wine would be the preferred choice. The menu presented to us can't be right. Let me tell you what happened here today. The grandson enters the kitchen, holding the bag in which he pretends to be carrying a gift. The unsuspecting grandmother turns to the oven. The grandson pulls a frozen salmon out of his bag and uses it to beat his grandmother to death. Now all he has to do is hide the frozen salmon. He takes the roast out of the oven and puts the salmon in instead. As it gently thaws, it is transformed into an innocent-looking main course. He throws the piece of meat out of the window into the yard, and the waiting guard dog, delighted to receive an unexpected Christmas treat, devours the evidence. The window is left open, allowing the telling aromas to disperse. Et voila! We have our murderer. Now all we need is a motive. Wants her money, doesn't he? Must want her money. Anyway, hope to goodness none of my grandchildren killed me, although probably by that time I'll probably be ready to go. Maybe she wanted to be killed? No, she can't have done that. Anyway, I'm going to stop there and leave you wondering why on earth the grandson killed his grandmother. What an awful way to finish. But I'm going to go back, I'm going to sit down I'm going to try and get this uploaded as quickly as possible, and then I'm going to sit down and watch a Christmas film. I don't know which Christmas film, but I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it. I'm going to have a glass of wine and really have a good time. So I'm going to have a glass of wine and I'm going to sit down and watch a Christmas film. Don't know which one yet. Whichever one it is, I'm going to have to pay for it. So it's got to be a good one. So until then, I'm going to love you and I'm going to leave you, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.